in the ritual of Baphomet, the transgender. To show allegiance to him, you had to kiss his ring.
It's crazy. I would literally be in therapy every day for the rest of my life.
Hard, you know?
Do you kind of like make peace at a certain...
You can't make peace when someone has been so nefarious, in my opinion. So, like,
the wave of support for Katt Williams has been nothing short of phenomenal, attracting attention from both celebrities and everyday people. This all stemmed from his now famous interview on Club Shay Shay, which exploded online and garnered nearly 60 million views. It seemed like everyone was captivated by it. But here's the twist. Sylvester Stallone, yes, the legendary Rocky Balboa, has thrown his support behind Katt Williams. You might be scratching your head, wondering why Stallone is getting involved. They come from completely different spheres of Hollywood. But the buzz is that Stallone isn't just standing by Katt. He's preparing to unveil some explosive revelations of his own. Despite his towering achievements, Stallone has faced plenty of betrayal in the ruthless world of Hollywood. That's right, even a giant like Stallone has been stung by the industry's treacherous side. So what exactly is going on? From the iconic Rocky series to the adrenaline-pumping Expendables, Stallone has left his mark on the big screen. But here's a shocker. Despite creating Rocky, he doesn't own the rights to the franchise. Last year, Michael B. Jordan starred in Creed 3, but where was Stallone? He was the heart of the first two Creed movies, even getting an Oscar nomination for his role in the 2015 debut. But in Creed 3, he's nowhere to be found. Sure, they mention Rocky, but his actual presence? Total mystery. And get this, it's the first time in 9 films and 47 years that a Rocky movie doesn't feature Rocky Balboa. Why the sudden absence? It seems Stallone wasn't on board with the direction of Creed 3. Creed 3 introduced several firsts to the franchise. Michael B. Jordan, the face of Adonis since his breakthrough role in 2015's Creed, is set to make his directorial debut. In a significant departure, Sylvester Stallone, the iconic figure synonymous with the Rocky films, will not be appearing on screen for the first time in a Rocky installment. Despite his absence as an actor, Stallone played a role as a producer in the project.
Let it be known, that he wasn't coming back for this one, but I think, in his essence and his spirit, it's always going to be a little bit of Rocky within.
Creed 3, the 9th installment in the Rocky franchise and the 3rd in the Creed series, continues to build on the rich legacy of the Rocky Balboa universe. The film explores the profound challenges of overcoming past traumas, navigating the complexities of fame, and the enduring importance of family. At its heart is Adonis Creed, formerly the overlooked illegitimate son of boxing legend Apollo Creed, who evolves into a close friend and trainer to Rocky Balboa. Adonis is committed to preserving his father's legacy, initially as a boxing champion and later as the proprietor of a gym, mentored by Tony Little Duke Evers, the son of Tony Duke Evers, who trained both Apollo and Creed. In Creed the 3, the storyline takes a turn as Adonis, post-retirement, decides to step back into the ring to defend his world champion title. This choice is spurred by the reappearance of Damian, Jonathan Majors, an old friend turned rival, bringing a shadowy past back into Adonis's life.
Remember me, huh?
Damian.
Michael B. Jordan's transition to the director's chair for Creed 3 feels like a natural progression, considering his lead roles in the first 2 Creed films. In the initial Creed movie, Jordan worked under the direction of his longtime collaborator, Ryan Coogler. Their partnership originated with the 2013 film Fruitvale Station and continued with the blockbuster hit Black Panther in 2018. Coogler, serving as a producer on Creed 3 and also executive producer for Creed 2, played a crucial part in inspiring Jordan to explore directing. In an interview with Entertainment Tonight, Jordan acknowledged that witnessing Coogler's directorial skills on the set of Fruitvale Station, a pivotal film for both of them, played a significant role in influencing his decision to take on the directorial responsibilities in Creed 3. The directing interest sparks back to Fruitvale Station when I first kind of saw a guy, up close and personal, that looked like me, directing, commanding the set, he said, noting that Coogler made himself available for 911 phone calls during the filming of Creed 3, despite being busy on a set of his own with the production of Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. In his directorial debut, Michael B. Jordan demonstrated a keen attention to detail, particularly emphasizing the significance of integrating American Sign Language into the film. Jordan, in an interview with IndieWire, described the film as quadrilingual, underscoring its commitment to authentic representation and inclusivity. We have English, we have Spanish, we have ASL, and then we have the fighting language we explore in the final fight," he said, noting that it was important to him that viewers see a world that embraced deaf characters. "I had the ability to really just drop them in this world and see how the ASL family is living and let the audience go for a ride." Certainly, the noticeable decline in Sylvester Stallone's presence with each successive Creed installment is hard to ignore. With the impending release of Creed III, one cannot help but observe the absence of Rocky Balboa in Adonis Creed's journey towards boxing greatness and the continuation of the Creed legacy. The man who laid the foundation for it all won't be part of the cast in this latest addition to the Rocky cinematic universe. Stallone, who played a pivotal role as Adonis's trainer and inspiration in the original film, gradually saw a reduction in screen time in the 2018 sequel. However, Creed III takes it a step further by entirely excluding Rocky Balboa. The absence of this iconic character feels somewhat peculiar in a film set within the Rocky universe, sparking curiosity about the intriguing story behind Stallone's decision not to reprise his role. The absence of Sylvester Stallone in the 9th installment of the franchise has been public knowledge, but the reasons behind it are complex and shrouded in mystery. Stallone, in an article for Men's Health, disclosed that he won't be involved in future Rocky films as long as Irwin Winkler, a former friend and producer of the original film, remains connected to the projects. Stallone, the hometown hero with a Cinderella story from rags to riches, has been unequivocal in his stance, asserting, "You can't make peace with someone who's been so nefarious, in my opinion." However, the specific details of the rift between the two remain elusive. The origin of the discord dates back to 1976 when Stallone, facing financial challenges, sold the rights to Rocky to Winkler for an amount that now seems insignificant compared to the colossal revenue generated by the 9 Rocky films at the box office and through licensing. Despite Rocky standing as the most successful sports franchise in film history, Stallone does not share in the broader financial success beyond his initial payment for his roles. Having penned the screenplay for Rocky and essentially birthing the lucrative franchise, Stallone feels that Winkler is reaping the rewards all the way to the bank. In this instance, it appears that Stallone may have a valid point.
Kind of like make peace at a certain point?
No,
or
you can't make peace. I mean, let's be realistic here. You can't make peace when someone has been so...
The recently released documentary Sly on Netflix provides viewers with a revealing look into Sylvester Stallone's remarkable underdog journey, catapulting him to become one of the most triumphant and acclaimed stars of the 1980s. While showcasing the inspiring aspects of his rise to fame, the documentary also delves into the personal costs of Stallone's relentless ambition, specifically highlighting the injuries he endured due to performing his own stunt work.
What is healthier? To live under the illusion and still have a little glimmer of hope that you could have been great?
The documentary vividly recounts a harrowing incident during the filming of the 4th installment of the Rocky franchise in 1985. Sylvester Stallone faced a perilous situation, nearing death, after absorbing a powerful punch from his co-star, Dolph Lundgren, in the intense boxing match between Rocky Balboa and Lundgren's character, Ivan Drago. Stallone reminisces in the documentary, stating, "Dolph Lundgren, he pulverized me," and reveals that the impact resulted in a 9-day hospitalization. The severity of the situation prompted an urgent transfer of Stallone from the film set in Vancouver, British Columbia, to a hospital in Santa Monica, California. These details were shared by Stallone in an interview with Ain't It Cool News in 2006, underscoring the gravity of the incident and its impact on his well-being. Later that night, my heart started to swell, which happens when the heart hits the chest, and then my blood pressure went up to 260, and they thought I was going to be talking to angels, Stallone said in Sly. He continued, "Next thing I know, I'm in intensive care where I'm surrounded by nuns. I thought, okay, that's curtains." In The Hollywood Reporter's 35th anniversary retrospective in 2020, Stallone disclosed a gripping behind-the-scenes moment from the filming of the iconic fight scene with Dolph Lundgren in the 4th Rocky installment. According to the report, Stallone directed Lundgren to deviate from the planned choreography for the significant fight day. "Just go out there and try to clock me," Stallone conveyed to Lundgren, as documented by the outlet. "For the first minute of the fight, it is going to be a free-for-all." In the documentary Sly, as he reflects on his experiences, the Oscar winner candidly shares insights into the toll his commitment to performing his own stunts has taken on his body. Stallone acknowledges, "I push it. That's why I've had 5 back operations. I knew." Despite facing physical challenges and undergoing multiple back surgeries, Sylvester Stallone humorously admitted, You should know after the first back operation not to do it again, chuckling at his own inclination to repeat strenuous feats. He added, probably end up with another one because I know. I say, I'll never do that again, but I do. I don't know why, but I do. The documentary also delves into Stallone's hospitalization during the filming of another action movie, the 2010 ensemble film The Expendables, shedding light on the personal costs of his unwavering commitment to his craft. In Sly, Stallone revealed that he broke his neck while shooting a fight scene with wrestling star Stone Cold Steve Austin in The Expendables. The injury necessitated an operation to address a hairline fracture, ultimately resulting in the insertion of a permanent metal plate in his neck.
He keeps telling me, Steve, bring it, and I'm like, man, when's this guy gonna stop?
Stallone openly admitted, truthfully, I never fully recovered. It did such a number on my body, I've never been the same. Never. Contemplating the toll his commitment to intense stunts has exacted, he began questioning the worthiness of such sacrifices, pondering, was it really worth it? Delving into the psychological aspect, Stallone reflected on whether the pursuit of such feats was driven by a need for external approval. Drawing parallels, he likened it to a child seeking validation, expressing, "Are you doing this for people's approval? Really, that's almost like a child needing a pat on their head by their father. That's constant encouragement. But it's true." Sylvester Stallone's distancing from the Rocky franchise isn't solely due to financial disagreements. He has also voiced discontent with the creative direction taken by Irwin Winkler. Specifically, Winkler's decision to greenlight a spin-off deal for Dolph Lundgren, reprising his role as Ivan Drago, has fueled Stallone's dissatisfaction. In critiquing Winkler, Stallone went to the extent of labeling him a parasite and accused him of picking clean the bones of another wonderful character I created. The choice of such strong language, including likening Winkler to a vulture, underscores the evident strain in their professional relationship. This stands in stark contrast to the collaboration that once brought one of film's most iconic figures to life, signaling a significant and palpable rift between the two creators.
So nefarious, in my opinion, so horrible, because everyone made out well.
Despite initially being open to starring in 8 consecutive films, including leading up to Creed III, Sylvester Stallone has recently set boundaries. His substantial net worth of $400 million as of 2022 suggests that financial concerns are not the driving force behind his decision. While Stallone denies it's about the potential millions he might have missed over the past 47 years, the idea of approaching billionaire status may still be a consideration. Nevertheless, the actor insists that the issue goes beyond finances and expresses a desire to create a meaningful legacy for his family. Stallone wants to leave a lasting gesture for them, saying, "I wrote it. I thought it would be nice to say, here's the gesture, darling. Beautiful children, beautiful wife. When I'm long gone, this is you. This is what I made for you." Undoubtedly, Stallone's inability to secure the rights to the franchise for future generations is a bitter realization. Despite already possessing generational wealth that could sustain the Stallone legacy for the next century, the frustration arises from not having complete autonomy over the destiny of his creation, Rocky. The involvement of individuals like Irwin Winkler in determining the franchise's future appears to be a source of discontent for Stallone.
To get the rights, I've never heard of that in my life. Spielberg doesn't have the rights to Jaws. In other words, the studio owns it. How he got that, I don't know, which means...
Michael B. Jordan has now addressed the surprising news of Sylvester Stallone not returning for Creed III. Jordan mentioned to IGN, "I think that Sly let it be known that he wasn't coming back for this one, but I think, his essence and his spirit, there's always going to be a little bit of Rocky within Adonis." Jordan emphasized that Creed is its own franchise, expressing the intent to build the story and world around Adonis moving forward. He conveyed deep respect and love for what Stallone has created, but underscored the determination to propel Adonis Creed and his family's narrative.
A little bit of Rocky within Adonis. And this is a Creed franchise, and we really want to build this story and this world around him moving forward. So, I think, it's always...
Since the release of Creed in 2015, directed by Ryan Coogler, the spin-off franchise centered on Apollo Creed's son, Adonis, has garnered significant acclaim. Sylvester Stallone even earned an Oscar nomination for his portrayal of Rocky Balboa as Creed's manager in the film. The dynamic duo reunited for the 2018 sequel, directed by Stephen Caple Jr., where Creed alongside Balboa faced the son of Ivan Drago, the antagonist from Rocky IV. However, Stallone's departure signals a notable shift in the connection between the Creed and Rocky franchises. For enthusiasts of the Balboa universe, accepting Stallone's iconic character's absence might be challenging, yet Stallone may have foreshadowed this transition. At the conclusion of Creed II, he jubilantly tells Adonis, "It's your time now." According to Capel, Stallone improvised that line on the spot, stating, "That wasn't even in the script. I didn't know what he was going to say." Creed III is set to have a new director, marking Michael B. Jordan's directorial debut. Jordan expressed optimism about the project, telling IGN, "Hopefully you guys will love what I'm thinking, what we're cooking up. I think it's going to be something special." Scheduled for release in November 2022, Creed III bring back familiar faces, including the boxer's partner and mother, portrayed by Tessa Thompson and Felicia Rashad, respectively. The film's screenplay will be co-written by Ryan Coogler, the brother of Ryan Coogler, who directed the first Creed movie.
With you too.
I didn't tell you.
We was like brothers.
I was the best though, but I never got a chance to prove that.
That's cute.
Looking back on the past, director Ryan Coogler revealed his initial rejection from Sylvester Stallone when pitching Creed. This rejection, possibly influenced by Stallone's hesitation to collaborate with Irwin Winkler again, was eventually overturned by Coogler's infectious enthusiasm and compelling story. Stallone's portrayal in Creed earned him a nomination for the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor, a remarkable achievement for a sequel, and his first nomination since being recognized as a lead in Rocky. This accolade evidently boosted his confidence, leading him to pen the sequel in 2018 and even consider taking on the directorial reins at one point.
Well, I mean, I was there, you know, obviously I know how Sly feels about us, man. Me, Mike, and Tessa.
There's speculation that Sylvester Stallone is not inclined to watch Creed III. Despite its remarkable achievement as the top-grossing film in the Rocky franchise, caution is advised in labeling it the most commercially successful movie, considering certain factors. The inaugural Rocky film, produced on a budget of $960,000, astonishingly grossed $225 million at the box office, even without adjusting for inflation. By the first week of April 2023, merely a month after its theatrical release, Creed III not only reached but exceeded the impressive milestone of $260 million. This achievement is particularly noteworthy for Michael B. Jordan, marking his directorial feature debut. Jordan reprised his starring role from Creed and Creed II, sharing the screen with his currently embattled friend Jonathan Majors. In the expansive world of Rocky, Michael B. Jordan joins the ranks of those who have taken on dual roles. Sylvester Stallone, the visionary behind the franchise, initially penned the original script and subsequently portrayed the titular character in 6 films. Stallone further demonstrated his multifaceted talents by directing 4 installments of the series.
Can I do this? Can I do that? Oh yeah, all your sons want to be producers? Sure, that's fine. And the thing is, I don't care about the money.
Following Sylvester Stallone's portrayal in the first 2 Creed movies, Michael B. Jordan assumed the role of Adonis Creed. Stallone's absence in Creed III has been particularly conspicuous, and regrettably, the legendary actor has expressed deep dissatisfaction with the unfolding events to the extent that he adamantly declared he wouldn't even watch this latest installment. In an alternate reality, it might seem inconceivable for a creator to find themselves on the outside looking in on a franchise they brought to life. However, in our world, particularly in the realm of showbiz, the dynamics differ. Whether in music or movies, the individual wielding the most power often isn't the originator of the work, but the one who, one way or another, possesses the rights. When Sylvester Stallone initially penned the script for Rocky in 1975, his friend and colleague Henry Winkler presented it to ABC executives on his behalf. While the network showed interest in the story, their involvement was contingent on someone else taking on the task of rewriting the script.
To leave it to my children.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wrote it. I thought it would be nice to say, here's a gesture, darling. Here.
Yeah.
Beautiful children, beautiful wife.
During that time and in subsequent negotiations, Stallone remained steadfast in his insistence not only to retain the main lead role, but also to be a part of the project. However, amidst the thrill of realizing his cinematic vision, he overlooked a critical aspect: the relinquishment of all rights to the world and characters he had brought to life. It went beyond simply not wanting to participate in the movie's creation. Stallone's recent revelation that he had no intention of watching Creed 3 underscored the extent of the strained relationship between him and the influential figures within the Rocky franchise. With his 80th birthday approaching in the not-too-distant future, Stallone candidly discussed his life, career, and regrets with The Hollywood Reporter. This was back in November 2022, a few months before the release of Creed 3. Asked about his message to Irwin Winkler on Instagram, he said, "No, getting back rights to Rocky is never going to happen. It was a deal that was done unbeknownst to me by people that I thought were close to me, and they basically gave away whatever rights I would have had." While Stallone harbors no ill feelings towards Michael B. Jordan and others working in the franchise, there is no love lost between him and Winkler, whom he referred to in a separate interview as so nefarious. It is, in fact, his history with Winkler that has driven him to a point of not even wanting to watch any new Rocky or Creed films. Despite featuring Stallone in a supporting role, the first two Creed films provided a rich character arc for Rocky. In the initial installment, he grappled with the notion of mentoring Adonis while simultaneously contending with his own battle against cancer. Adonis, in turn, offered the seasoned boxer a fresh perspective on life. By the time Creed 2 unfolded, Rocky had overcome his illness, only to face the haunting trauma of his friend Apollo Creed's tragic loss when Ivan Drago re-emerged into his and Adonis's lives alongside his son, Victor. Creed 2 posed a profound emotional challenge for Rocky as he confronted the looming possibility of losing Adonis in a manner reminiscent of Apollo Creed's demise in Rocky 4.
This is you.
Right.
This is what I made for you.
This is part of my legacy.
That's
that
all.
I...
And that's never going to happen.
Yeah.
So I can't forgive that.
Rocky agreed to once again train Michael B. Jordan's character to face Drago's son in their climactic battle. Adonis emerged victorious against Victor in their final confrontation, marking a triumphant moment. As the two fighters faced each other in the aftermath, Rocky extended his hand to knock fists with Adonis, uttering the words, "It's your time." This heartfelt moment served as a symbolic passing of the baton from Rocky to Adonis. It signified the conclusion of Rocky's time as the central protagonist and signaled that it was now Adonis Creed's moment to take the spotlight. The scene also portrayed Rocky's inner peace, recognizing that Adonis was now experienced and capable enough to forge ahead on his own. Creed 3 Inches confirmed that Rocky is alive and spending time with his son in Vancouver. While the absence of Sylvester Stallone in Creed 3 Inches has been explained, there remains uncertainty about his appearance in Creed 4. Anyway, while Sylvester Stallone may be famous for many things, it turns out controversy seems to have a bit of a soft spot for him. I mean, the dude's climbed the ladder from total obscurity to being one of Hollywood's biggest names, thanks to his unforgettable performances as the ultimate macho man. But here's the thing, behind all that flashy action and machismo, Stallone's personal life isn't exactly a walk in the park. Sure, he's got that rugged charm on screen, but off screen, let's just say he's not exactly winning any awards for being Mr. Nice Guy. So, picture this. It's a regular February morning in 2016, right before the whole #Me Too movement really took off. You're scrolling through your newsfeed, sipping on your morning coffee, when bam, headlines hit you like a ton of bricks. Turns out there's this bombshell report alleging that Sylvester Stallone, yes, the Rocky and Rambo legend himself, was involved in an SA case with a younger person. I mean, here's this larger-than-life action hero we've all grown up admiring, and suddenly there's this dark cloud hanging over his reputation. Reported first by the Baltimore Post-Examiner, the incident, which took place over 3 decades ago at the Las Vegas Hilton on July 26, 1986, mentioned a 16-year-old lady consenting to an encounter with Sylvester Stallone, who was at the venue filming his 1987 film Over the Top. However, following their encounter, the Hollywood star welcomed a third party into their midst, the actor's former bodyguard, Michael the Duke DeLuca. According to the police report filed 2 days after the incident, DeLuca and Sylvester Stallone made the girl perform oral S before she the former at Suite 2767, where Stallone was residing at the time. The report further mentioned Stallone made the comment that they were both married men and that she could not tell anybody about the incident, and if she did, they would have to beat her head in. Although at the time she thought the comments were meant as a joke, decades later, the victim revealed in an interview that she wasn't so sure anymore, as was confirmed by the Baltimore Post-Examiner and corroborated by the victim, as well as retired Las Vegas Metro Police Department Detective Sergeant John Savick, who was also head of the SA unit during the time of the incident. The police report that provided a graphic, disturbing, and detailed account of the all true. The young person also claimed at the time that she was scared and did not want to prosecute. After the incident had occurred, the victim came forward 30 years later and revealed to the Baltimore Post-Examiner that she wanted Stallone to be held accountable for his actions. Stallone should be ashamed of himself. What he did to me affected my life and destroyed me. I can never forget the smirk Mike DeLuca had on his face as he looked at me as I left the room. She indicated that if the encounter had only been with Stallone, she would not pursue this matter. But due to the fact that Mike the bodyguard became involved in the incident, she didn't know what she wanted to do. The police report states she became very uncomfortable with the situation. She states she did not want to have any type of sexual contact with the bodyguard, but felt she had no choice in the matter. She states there was no actual physical force, but she did feel intimidated. Now, Stallone's representatives and spokeswoman have vehemently denied all allegations. After the publication of the Baltimore Post-Examiner's scathing report, Michelle Bega, spokeswoman for Stallone, said in a statement to ET, "This is a ridiculous, categorically false story. Stallone says it never happened. No one was ever aware of this story until it was published today, including Mr. Stallone. At no time was Mr. Stallone ever contacted by any authorities or anyone else regarding this matter." According to the police report, the teen didn't want to pursue charges against Stallone and Duca, though she told police she was scared and humiliated. The Daily Mail reports that she later signed a no prosecution form and the matter was dropped. The actor had also previously been accused of similar charges by his late half-sister, who threatened him with a lawsuit in 1987. The charges were settled out of court. Despite these scandals and offenses, Stallone has managed to keep his career going. As for the Creed franchise, Stallone has clarified that he is not interested in participating in Creed 4. Despite the significant shift in the status quo with Rocky's absence, the Creed series, with its universal themes of overcoming adversity and seeking identity, can flourish independently without him as a central figure. Anyway, that's it for this video, folks. Bye.